Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your April 15th to April 31st, 2017 read. For the main read, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot, my old box here. Just realized that was there. This is by Paul Foster Case and Arthur Edward. Wait, I don't know why I would say Edward all the time first. The support cards, Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish, which I'm probably covering her name there. Hopefully you can see it without too much glare. I had a feeling he was going to make an appearance there. There's one other card I thought was going to really... Okay. All right. So I've been doing these readings today anyway. I'm going from the beginning, just moving through. I might get to the overall energy at the end. I don't know why. It feels like there's something causing a divide here. Like, as we go into this time frame, as opposed to when we go out of it, it seems like things have kind of flipped. So, I feel like... How many cards do we have? We got two romance cards. Literally, one's romance, the other one's the Two of Cups. They're on your side. They're on your mental state. So you're... As I always say when these romance cards come up, it could be just that this is a very important, very emotionally connected relationship for you. So it doesn't have to be a physically romantic relationship. But it's something you're very connected to. I feel like for a good amount of you, it's going to be romance connected, but just keep in mind, this could just mean this is connected to somebody who means a lot to you, somebody who's emotionally deep in your heart. This could be a best friend, this could be a child, this could be a parent, relative, someone you work with that you highly respect, something like that. I don't know why I have to go on for 10 days about that, but there's that. Now, when it comes to your mental state, as you're going into this time frame, you're very much feeling and aware of how you feel about this person, be it literal romance or not. The psychic protection right next to it makes me feel like you're kind of holding back a little bit, or you're trying to keep yourself under control with the situation. You're trying not to be too pushy. Pushy, that's the word that comes through, pushy. Okay. That being said, I feel like we're going to put them to the side for a moment. As you go into this time frame, the way you're matching up with this other person, there's a lot of things going on, taking action. There's, rods are a fire card, granted. But I'm feeling like there's some communication here. Getting things done, making plans, carrying through. Like, you're making plans, and it's like either for later that day or the next day, like the plans, and you're just going and doing them, and you're both having some time together. I feel like the other person... See, the psychic protection, this is making me wonder. I see this coming forward after the romance part here. You're hanging out, and the other person wants to hang out with you, but they want to tell you something. And they have to come clean about something. So I feel like you're going and hanging out with them because you love them. In one respect or another, you love them. They mean a lot to you. So you go and you hang out with them. That's this card. You're having a great time. And this is when they decide to tell you whatever they need to tell you. They feel like they need to tell you something. And I got the authenticity on their side. Like, they're telling you something. They're pulling away the mask. They're letting you know that something is going on or something has changed in their life. And There seems like there's an array going on here. I don't feel like you like it. Like, in some respects, I feel like maybe there's like a bad result to a test. In other respects, there's a... This only is going to be if they actually tell you this, but there's somebody else. Or there's a change of a job that's going to take them away from you, or somewhere you didn't want them doing something that they have to do. This, whatever they're telling you, they knew you weren't going to like, whatever it is. But they are going to tell you. They feel they have to. There's no avoiding it any longer. Whatever they're telling you, it's changing the situation, and I don't feel like you like it. I feel like it's... Whatever it is they're telling you, it's something they have to do. You have some involvement in it. It's mostly them. As in, they have to do something. Because right after this, it's the Ace of Rods, and this is where this weird split comes in. I feel like whatever they handle, they're handling it without you. But they feel like they have to. Whatever it is. For some of you, I feel like it's this person had some medical test come back a certain way, and there's something else they got to do, or some type of... There's something... Whatever they have to do, they feel like they have to do it on their own. Or you can go to appointments if necessary, but it's still something that they're handling. That you can't fight it for them. I guess that's the thing. They feel like they have to handle it on their own. That's kind of what I'm getting here. And they're out there and they're handling it. Whatever they need to do, whatever they've told you, they're taking action on that. They've told you, and now they're doing. Like, but I feel like it's kind of like you're like, now, oh, like you're kind of like caught, like, oh, I didn't realize that was happening. And they're like, yeah, and I'm gonna have to blah blah blah, and then they, like, it's not long, like a couple days later, they're like doing the next phase of whatever they have to do. If it's like a test result, I feel like they were holding it back as long as they could, but at this point they're realizing it's something, and they already have like whatever the next step. They already have the next step planned. They're just letting you know what's going on. I feel if it's something like that, you feel like there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm getting, for most of you, it's a situation reminiscent of that. Something's happening with this person that you love, and they finally tell you because they feel like they have to tell you now. And they didn't want to tell you because they knew you weren't going to like it, but they had to tell you. They had to tell you. I feel like things are already in motion when they do tell you, like their next step. Not only do they have it planned, they have it scheduled, they're going to go forward with the next step, or whatever that is. But you have the Hanged Man. You got this 4-card thing going on here for you. You got the Hanged Man. You got the 3 of Cups. You got Mr. Happy here, aka the Devil. And then you got Judgment. I feel like you're not happy about the situation, and I feel like that's where the Devil comes in. You're feeling like there's nothing you can do about it. Because the Devil is right above the Hanged Man. Like, you're stuck. And you're pissed. And I feel like the Judgment... I feel like you're trying to work it out. I feel like you have to talk this out with friends. Trusted advisors. People you trust that you talk with. Whether those families... Whether the friends be family members, that's what this is. Something like this. You're talking this out. You have to. You have to. In one respect or another. Even if it's like to a stranger in a chat room, you just have to talk this out. And you find somebody to do that with. Now this is the pivotal moment in the center here, because right below this is where they take action. This is more in their court than yours. This is where they go forward and get done what they need to do. They move forward, do what they need to do. Right below that is this 6? Yes, 6 of Swords. To me, it feels like they feel like they have to do this on their own. They feel like that you can't do it for them. You just can't. Whatever it is, you just can't. I feel like that's very upsetting for you because you feel like there's nothing you can do to change what's going on, and you want to do something. But you're like... And I feel like that's why the social aspect comes in, because you're just like, what do I do? What do I do? What am I supposed to do? And I feel like it comes across like this, like, what am I supposed to do? And there's a lot of talking it out, and, you know, this is what's going on with this and that, and you can do that. Well, maybe we could help you. Well, how about this? Like, there's a lot of scenarios. It depends on the specifics for your situation. I feel like your friends, aka family members, whoever you're connecting with at this time, even if it's like you find somebody in a chat room and you're just like spilling your guts to somebody who has no idea who you are, but they're listening and they're, you know, talking with you, however it works. This is what's helping you categorize. I did not expect that word to come to the forefront. I feel like you're just kind of categorizing it. I feel like there's not much you can do. You're just trying to get it in order, just trying to make sense of it. I feel like you're a little thrown off that you weren't told about this beforehand. And I feel like you're a little aggravated because you weren't told about this beforehand. That's kind of playing a factor here. And you're categorizing it because you're kind of upset, but you're just trying to keep your wits about you. And you're just like, wait a minute, I don't want this to get worse, so what do I need to do? And you're talking with other people in some respect to help you like sort it out. Like, not only how you feel, but what should you do? How should you handle it? What do you want from the situation? How do you react? Which those last two are interesting because what do you want from the situation feels like the situation isn't really in your control, but you're trying to like see, is there anything I can do? Anything I can do to make this better or change it in some sense? And how do you want to react seems interesting too, because I feel like you're trying to find ways to keep yourself calm. They're like, yep. But I feel like you're highly emotional anyway. You're just going to do your best. You're just trying to find things to set up for yourself to help you do your best. Because you're trying to just keep it together. I feel like you're really pissed and you're really aware that you're pissed. But you're like, I don't want this to get worse. I want this, I'm going to fix this if I can. I just don't want this to get worse. Okay. Because I feel like this is like a, almost like a slap across the face. Like, how come I'm just finding about this now? And now you tell me? What am I supposed to do with this now? That's kind of how it comes through. Okay. There's like an upset energy with that. And I think it's very justifiable. Okay. Now, we're going forward to the next spot. As we go into the end spot here, this is how things are adding up. Now, you're going into this, like, I feel like you're both kind of like trying to seek out answers. Like, between the two of you, it's kind of like, I feel like this card's kind of like doing this little flippy, like, I don't know, I guess I know, I don't know, like, looking for answers, not really interested in it now. Oh yeah, well, like, I just feel like it's like a lot of like trying to keep it together, having a hard time doing that. I feel like you're both sides are having this issue. I feel like there's nothing left to give on either side. Now I'm thinking from your side, like, there's nothing you can do to change it. There's nothing you can do, and it's kind of aggravating. On their side, they told you everything that's happening, and there's nothing else they can do either. So I feel like it's almost like this almost feels like a stalemate, disappointing stalemate. Like, kind of disappointed. Like, if you wanted something, I could do something. If you tell me what you need, I could do it, but there's just nothing to do. But this is interesting because I feel like you're both searching for ways to make this situation better. And I feel like the love this is where the Two of Cups is on your side, in your mental state. Like, you really care about this person. And it's kind of like in the sense of, like, I just can't not care. That's, like, how would that ever happen? Like, I don't turn my emotions on and off like that. Who does that? It's kind of how that's coming through. So you're trying to find ways. You're like, I'll invent ways. I'll make you dinner. I'll do what I have to do. I'll just come see you. I'll visit you. I don't know. Whatever I got to do, I'm going to do it. This is where the work starts. Whatever has happened, whatever's going on, I do feel like the other person, like, trusts your intentions. All right, I'm seeing the work here, but when I first saw this card, I have to be honest with you. What comes out with the trust the most is a vacant bed. A vacant bed that seems to be up in the clouds or up in some type of dreamland. And there's still good to be had, but like I'm noticing it's like, I don't know if you can see this card, but like in the background you'll notice like there's no window, there's no walls, there's no floor. It's up, there's like a curtain that's just so random. But it feels like it's very pie in the sky, dreamy. Like I almost feel like they're taking like this fantasy view of the situation. Like it's not as bad as it really is. And they're trying not to really deal with it. And you're helping them cope in some way. Whatever happened, they're not really connecting with the severity of it. Not that they don't understand it, not that they can't get there analytically. Emotionally, they're trying to stay out of it. Even though it's them, it's their issue. Emotionally, they're trying to not connect with it because it's upsetting and they don't want to. So they're trying to deny the severity of the situation. I hope that makes sense. Like they can't deny what's happening, but like they're like sidestepping it, or they're like, I don't know, they're like convincing themselves it's not as bad as it seems, or something along those lines. And I feel like that's where you're there for them, and that's where you're like, oh, sweet thing, I don't know what's going on in your head, but I better make sure that this doesn't completely crash and burn. So I'm going to step in and make sure you're taken care of one way or another. And I feel like it's kind of coming through like a raised eyebrow, like, I have to pick your pieces up, you nut job. But, like, I don't know. I hope that doesn't come across too judgmental, but I feel like that's kind of how you're going at it. Like, really? You tell me, like, 5 minutes before the buzzer, or 5 seconds before the buzzer, and now I gotta step up and pick up your pieces here, keep you going? Like, shouldn't you probably have told me this a while back? Like, a while back? Like, I feel like that's how it's coming across. Like, really, come on now. But I feel like your heart is with them so much. I mean, of course, it's a general read, and not everybody's going to handle it the same way, but I feel like you're like, all right, I'll let you have your little pie in the sky baloney, and I'll help you, and I'll just keep this going, whatever I need to do. I just feel like you're kind of like, at this point, when the work starts happening, like, the way you feel about them, that love didn't go anywhere, and I feel like you feel bad for them, and you're just like, you know what, I'll just help you. And part of you is kind of kicking yourself in the butt for doing it the way you're doing it, but the other part is like, you know what, I just can't. I don't have the heart to like push them and be like, do you realize what's going on? Do you realize what's going on? Okay, so this is like the beginning to the end here. This is going into Taurus. I was just wondering, because I've done Scorpio and not Scorpio, you're Scorpio, Pisces and Cancer, which are also water signs, and when they tripped into Taurus, they were doing pretty well, but I'm now remembering Taurus is the opposite of Scorpio, so that might be why this little rough patch is going on here, and I'm kind of wondering if this rough patch pushes through to the end of Taurus. I feel like most of you it will. I apologize for that. There's other times, that's here nor there. I have certain times of the year where I swear it's just like, no matter what's going on, when a certain sign gets in, when the sun is in a certain sign, it's just my life goes wonky. It just does. Even when the moon goes there sometimes. But that's a whole nother story. Anything else for your read? I don't think so. Okay, so hopefully this turns out a lot better. I'm sure if this connects, a lot of you like to leave me messages. I do read all the comments. I usually read them on my phone, and my phone does not like to. I like to thumbs up them. I used to like to thumbs up them to just say so you realized I read them, but my phone gives me a hard time. So I read them like they come to my email and I read them. So just so you know, and thank you very much for everybody who does that. I really appreciate it. If you'd like a direct reading from me, go ahead, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.